Welcome to Intoxication Station. I'm Raymond, here with Drunken. And today we're going to talk on the Drunken Mullet. Now, this place is great and terrifying at the same time. Now,
Good way to describe it.
yeah, it really is. So, the Drunken Mullet. So, the Drunken Mullet is an iconic staple to the area. Would you say that they're in South Brooksville? Where exactly would you place them at?
Technically, I think it's like the outskirts of Spring Hill.
This place is amazing. Now, the moment that you pull into the parking lot, you're greeted with the sign, Drunken Mullet, warm beer, lousy food. And I'd be damned if that is not just false advertisement off rip. Yes, we've been there a handful of times before, and the last thing that you're going to find there is either one of those, either warm beer or lousy food. So the first time that we went there, I had the black and blue burger without a bun because I am trying to be relatively healthy with keto and whatnot, and it blew me out of the water. It was so good. What'd you have that night? Did you have I can't remember what you had. I know you had something other than beer. Well,
And a water.
ooh, you did have water. Super fancy. Now, instead of doing buckets of beer where they have a bucket that they put bottles of beer in and then they pack full of ice, one thing to guarantee the cold beer is when you ask for a bucket, they'll give you 5 chips, like poker chips.
Bar.
Yeah, at the bar. Now,
Yeah.
we haven't sat anywhere else outside of the bar, both inside
Yeah.
and outside.
At the tables, they'll bring you a bucket.
So they will at the tables. All right. All right. Well, if you're at the bar and you want the coldest beer, that's what you're going to want to have to do. Just say that you want a bucket, they'll give you 5 poker chips, and then everything stays ice cold the entire time. Now,
Finish one, give them a chip, you get another one. It's crazy.
I want a beer. What else do you win? Another beer.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that I did notice when we were there last time is they do store their mugs in a freezer. Like there is a dedicated freezer that just holds beer mugs.
This is true.
I love it. I love it, especially on a hot day. Last thing that you want is hot beer or cold beer in a warm glass that makes it kind of piss warm. You're going to need a cold glass with your cold beer, and they do a knockout job when it comes to that. Same thing with the food menu as a whole. So the last time that we were there was our 3rd time in total being there. And well, here's a little clip to show what happened the second time that we were there. Embarrassing, I know. So when we were there the second time, apparently we made a name for ourselves whenever we went there. And in doing so, we got treated like absolute royalty when we went in there, which love it. I'm glad to see that. I'm glad to see that the channel's making something of itself other than just a bunch of guys going through and looking at different restaurants. So a little bit of notoriety does go a long way, especially when it comes to doing something that we do, which is non-paid reviews of restaurants, bars, distilleries, things of that nature as well. Now, part of the reason why I was in such a bad place last time is we were told something about baby beers. Now, a baby beer consists of some type of liquor with cream floating on top. It's itty bitty. We got pictures of it. It's an itty bitty little shot, and enough of those in a quick enough amount of time will tear you up, as seen in the that. But I mean, aside from that, all around great atmosphere. Small indoor area. That's where the indoor bar is. That's where if you want to avoid the heat, you want to stay inside. But unfortunately, the day that we did all the photos that you see currently going around, the AC was out and it was a rough one in there. So we were outside. Outside, great atmosphere. One thing that I did notice when we were out there was the outside band area. Now they did have live music playing on a Wednesday, which to me that seems pretty cool. Poor guy. God bless his heart. He was doing his best, and he sang great. He really did.
Knocked out a couple good songs.
What's that?
I said he knocked out a couple good songs.
Yeah, but the mosquitoes were pretty potent that day, so that's why I say God bless his heart. He had to contend with all those damn mosquitoes, no CMs and whatnot, which is going to be indicative to the area. Now,
because it's by the water.
And I was just about to get to that. So it's technically by the water, but it's more of a canal than anything. And it does lead out to the Gulf at some point or another, depending on how big of a boat, how adventurous that you want to be and whatnot. You can totally get out there, but it is technically on the water. Now, it's a full bar, so beer, wine, liquor, all the good stuff, everything that you want to look for in a place like that. They were also, the second time that we were there, they were also working on a new dessert menu item, which was the chimichanga cheesecake. Now, Strickland, I don't remember the second time being there, even though I was there. I don't remember being there. Go ahead and
Mhm.
explain to the people what you think and how you think that delightful piece of heaven that you had was.
So good. The chef came over and asked me if I'd be willing to try it, and I was like, "Well, I am trying to eat a little healthier since I'm drinking a lot of beer." And then he said, "It's a chimichanga cheesecake," and I'm like, "Bring it to me. Can't say no to that."
No, there's
I'm glad I
very few.
did because oh my god, it was heaven in my mouth.
Well, there's very few things that you turn down in life. One, free beer. Two, cold free beer. And then three, cheesecake. I've yet to come across a bad piece of cheesecake. I've came across better pieces of cheesecake over the years, but I never came across a bad piece of cheesecake.
Right. And I mean, just him trying to be innovative. I was like, "Yep, okay, it was definitely worth it."
Mhm.
So I hope it makes it on the menu. I don't know. I forgot to ask last time we were there. So
Now, and with that, to the cook that was helping us the second time that we were there last time, we did interact with him quite a bit. I am so sorry we forgot your name, but do note we have mentioned you on here, and if it wasn't for that cheesecake, we'd probably never come back. Lies, but
lies.
all lies. But you make the experience that much better with all the delightful food and dessert items that you have up there. Thank you for going above and beyond to make sure that everyone that walks in through the doors there enjoys everything about it. And being part of the lousy food bit, awesome advertising, even though it's a big lie. Now, overall great atmosphere. Now, one thing that I have noticed over different recordings over the time of doing this is some of the places that you go to, you either have to bring the fun or the fun gets brought to you. Now, to expand on that, there are some places I've been to where if you go there with a group of friends, like typically whenever you and I do a review of a place,
Mhm.
we bring the fun. And then, between your charisma, my loud mouth, we tend to draw up a crowd inadvertently, even outside of doing the podcast and whatnot. We do tend to draw up a crowd. Yeah, we bring the party for lack of better terms. Some of the places you have to bring the party. Otherwise, you're not going to get any love from any of the bar staff or anything, which is a shame. And I get it. Not everywhere is going to be a party place. Not everyone's going to be super inviting or interactive with the guests, especially in big crowds.
Yeah,
And
these places, they go through a lot of people each day. So
yeah, absolutely, and I get that, and I understand that completely. But one thing with Drunken Mullet, for the times that we've been there, for the times I remember being there, anyways, every time that we go in there, we always interact with the bar staff, with the people that work there and whatnot. And it's not like that we're flagging them down, trying to talk to them or anything. They interact with us, which I mean, that's a huge thing, especially if you're going to these places solo or you're brand new in town, doing work in town and you go into these places and yeah, sometimes it's kind of feels a little awkward to go into these places by yourself in a new area that you're unfamiliar with,
right.
and for the staff to be super friendly, super helpful, interactive with you, I mean that takes the edge off. And that's one thing that Drunken Mullet, every time that we've been up there anyways, that's what I've experienced every time, is a very accepting atmosphere of having new people come in, and you can tell who's a regular, who isn't a regular at the same time. So
Mhm.
definitely one thing I wanted to go through and point out. And in case of other reviews that do come up, they Drunken Mullet's going to be the baseline on customer interaction to make sure that you have a great time. Now, on to the most important part, the bathrooms.
There are two of them.
They are. There's a women's and men's room, and unfortunately, when we were there last time, it was not very air conditioned. So instead of hanging meat in the bathrooms, you could smoke meat in the bathrooms. It was definitely warm, but I mean that's out of their control, really.
Well, what I meant by there were two of them is you had the one that was inside, that's the guys and the girl, and then we find out there's one around the bar. That one was a little more refreshing because they could open a window and you had a little cross breeze in there.
So I forgot about that. I completely forgot about that. So multiple options in case you need to take a whiz or anything like that. Yeah, because I mean, not everyone's an absolute stud like that. And I mean, overall, I can't speak highly enough of this place. Between the great food, very warm atmosphere when it comes to the environment that you're in, the very warm staff that's very accepting of everyone that comes in, the cold beers and great food. Sorry, warm beer and lousy food. If you want to go based upon the sign, definitely a place worth checking out. Make a day trip of it. Make a evening of it. If you have family in the area, try to see. Hey, can we go over to Drunken Mullet? I'm just saying.
It's a good starter. It's a good finisher. I mean, I would like to say maybe go there when you're not trash, so you can remember the nice people and the good food there.
Well, so which It bears repeating. Here's another clip of me like super tanked off of baby beers. Like I said, super embarrassing. And we were trying our best that day too to get a good review in. Oh yeah, we're gonna knock it out of the park. Yeah. How many months ago was that now? That was probably back in April, I want to say.
April or May. Yeah.
April, May. So by the time this video drops, it's going to be roughly early to mid August by the time this video drops. So do note it took us a while to be able to get back out there because bar PTSD is a thing. It really is. But it was all me. It wasn't them overserving me or anything like that. I apparently know how to handle more than what I should be drinking. And for that, Strick, I do thank you for driving us home that night. You were the responsible one. I wasn't. Which brings up the old adage when you go out and have fun with friends, drink responsibly. Make sure that you have a designated driver or have an Uber and or rideshare, whichever one's going to be cheaper. That's what I tend to go with. And make sure to tip everyone along the way, whether it be the bar staff, driver, whatever the case may be. Just be responsible out there.
Oh yeah, no, I had a baby beer. And I'm like, well, I better slow it down.
Mm-hmm. They were tasty. My God, they were
Yeah.
tasty.
No, well, I mean, you ordered a couple more already, and I'm like, well, I see how this night's going. I'm
Uh-uh.
gonna, like, can I get a water?
Yeah, that night went down the tubes real quick. Like real quick.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, I'm Raymond with Intoxication Station,
Jerky.
and we'll catch you on the next episode. And we may have an event coming up soon. So keep in
Keep it
tune.
posted.
Keep in tune with the social media pages. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I believe we have a thread page out there. Not sure 100%, but keep up to date with us that route. And with that, we'll see you on the next episode.